Good morning, guys. This is Nick again. Today's video is an overview of harvesting and utilizing the Mac nuts from our backyard. The intent of this video is not to be an authoritative how-to, but rather just a quick primer as to how we utilize the nuts, shells, and husks. We start quite simply by mulching in place. Then we pick up the nuts by hand, we dehusk them, crack the nuts, and finish roasting. Follow along with me. Alright, so bear with me, guys. We're going to go hunting for some Mac nuts here. And forgive the audio and video quality. Playing around with the cell phone on this one. So what we're looking for is some freshly dropped macadamia nuts. Like this one right here in the forefront. If we can, we want to find them nice and green. They're freshly fallen off the tree. Now, some people will put nets and stuff out to catch them, but yeah, we end up sharing more with nature than we probably should. So next step in the process here is to pull the Mac nuts out. And I use a block of wood and a rubber mallet to try and dehusk them. You can do some of these by hand, and there's dehusking machines out there, but this is the way we do it. See how this looks on the camera. Every once in a while you get one that will actually be dried out inside. You don't want to eat those. After the macadamia nuts have been dehusked, we would like to run them through a food dehydrator. The idea here is not to cook the macadamia nuts or roast them, it's just to remove the water. We've found with a lot of trial and error that the macadamia nuts that are drier tend to come out of the shell easier. We also take this opportunity to inspect the macadamia nuts. This one here has been eaten by some insects, so we will not be using it. And if there's any cracks or discoloration, or if the macadamia nuts just too small, we find the flavor is not always there when they're smaller, and just not always worth the effort to harvest them. We'll run the macadamia nuts for 2 or 3 days in this food dehydrator, so sit back and enjoy watching me sort through the macadamia nuts. Alright, so after the macadamia nuts are dehydrated in the dehydrator, we pull them out, have them bagged up here, and this is one of the macadamia nut crackers that we use to take the macadamia nuts out of the hard shell. And hardnutstocrack.com. Alright, so now all we're going to do is load up the macadamia nuts. few at a time in the hopper as I throw a few on the floor, and then then we're going to see how well it cracks the macadamia nuts. Next step is to separate the nuts from the shells and roast them in the oven. Alright, try something different. Rinse all these off, try to get all the dust and dirt and grime off of them. Little tiny pieces of cracked shell. Alright, next step is to just put these in the oven for 20 minutes or so. Now the leftover macadamia nut shells we put on the plumerias here. Kind of a compost, if you will.
Yeah, they're getting kind of starting to get a little brown.
The macadamia nuts are just coming out of the oven here. We've been roasting them for about 25 minutes at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. We consider them done when they are light brown like this and you can just see the oil starting to come out of the nut. Now off camera, what we did here is we actually took a bunch of popcorn salt and put it in a blender to make it even finer, tossed it over the hot macadamia nuts, and then placed them on this cookie sheet to cool. So as always guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed this video.